The world's outstanding snooker players queue up at the weekend for the first major tournament of the season, the BCE International at Trentham Gardens, Stoke-on-Trent, with exclusive coverage on ITV and Channel 4, starting on Friday afternoon on Channel 4. There's over £3 million on offer this season. Amazing to consider Alex Higgins picked up less than 500 for winning the World Championship in 1972. He's still the biggest draw, and for him the months ahead couldn't be more important. It's 3 years since he won an event, and last year, as his personal life lurched from crisis to crisis, he seemed on the verge of quitting the game completely. He had another setback today. He was fined £2,000 after making abusive remarks during the Mercantile Credit Tournament at Warrington in January. Well, Tony Francis has been on the twisted trail of the hurricane, beginning his search at last week's annual awards dinner in Bristol.
There were no prizes for Alex Higgins when snooker honoured its own last week. The People's Champion wasn't in town. Award dinners aren't really his scene, and yet without him, there mightn't have been any. Lest we forget.
Alex Higgins made the game. Alex Higgins was our first personality. He's never won it. But unfortunately, that's the way the game goes. That's the way it goes for Alex all the time.
Too true. Since he stepped onto the big wheel as a pro 15 years ago, life has flung him from the top to the bottom and back again with depressing regularity. For a man blessed with his sublime talent, 2 world titles seemed a meagre return. A winner sometimes, but always a loser.
Clothing was in a shabby state, holes in his socks. He was through to the blacking on his shoes. He was just in a general mess. Apart from being carried away with his snooker birthday, he was really in despair. Everything he got was just making the bookies richer. He had just the 3 vices: gambling, drinking, and murder.
Hello, sweetheart.
It was good fun being outrageous when snooker struggled for respectability. It isn't now. Over the past year, Higgins achieved unscaled heights of notoriety, even by his standards. His private life was stripped bare. The ultimate indignity, 2 hours clamped in a police cell on the eve of last season. Higgins had been arrested after a violent row at home. The television set wasn't the only thing which went out of the window that night. Next day, he took on the world champion and lost miserably.
It's probably the jailhouse off it. Nobody likes to be in a police cell for 2 or 3 hours. My ribs were cracked or something like that. It was a little bit difficult to bear for some shots. It's probably self-inflicted, but again, I say self-inflicted because I would like to put the blame myself as against anyone else. I've got a good constitution, I've got a strong will. Yeah, it was the worst year of my life, but I still managed to go on notice from 9 to 6. And that was plain dreadful. But as I say, I mean, if I can let 10 years elapse between one championship and another, even if I have to wait until 1992, I've got another world championship in me. It's just a case of getting down to 10 hours on that green thing over there. 10 hours a day for about a month.
That wasn't the problem in the old days. Getting him off that green thing was the hard part. There were only a handful of pros then, no tedious qualifiers to wade through. You simply found the fastest queue in town, beat him, and moved on to the next working men's club down the road. Ironically, it was Higgins who helped to turn bitter into champagne, but it's gone flat on him. He's up against 127 other pros now, any of whom can produce it on his day, as Joe Johnson, the personality of the year, showed us last April.
Long thought from Joe Johnson there.
And if the seasoned pros don't get you, watch out for the snooker youth. Stephen Hendry, the young player of the year, was still in his pushchair when Higgins won his first world championship. He knows exactly what it takes to reach the top.
It's all about dedication to get to the top, and once you've got to the top, you can do what you want after that, but it's pure dedication to get there.
How long can you keep it up, though? That's the question, because Alex Higgins, for instance, finds that very difficult now, can't practice at all.
Well, I'm not finding it difficult to practice at the moment. I can practice no bother, but you have to take breaks. Like I have breaks every summer and every so often, and that helps. But as long as you're hungry to win tournaments, you can practice as long as possible.
Higgins has no appetite for this man, Steve Davis, the joint player of the year, who's stood in his way more often than most. Higgins treats his talent like a mistress, flirts with it, neglects it, and expects it to come running back home at the click of his fingers. Davis, in contrast, is the faithful, caring husband.
Going to sleep every night, I'd rather be as I am. But every now and again, it's a very strange game. Every now and again, when you're in a situation, every once a month, sometimes you attain that bit of perfection. Like I hit a purple patch, and it's a great feeling, so I know what Alex goes through. He would manufacture positions and manufacture a break out of absolutely nothing. And there's no player I've ever played that can do that. It still isn't. There's not one.
The snooker table is the best way that I can express myself. And if we go back to the public and what they think of me, I think that speaks for itself. When I express myself on a snooker table, the public think it's a joy to watch, because I think I'm one of the few people that shows that I get enjoyment out of it.
It's a terrific personality. He has got that kind of charisma about it. If he wants to charm you, he can charm you.
Yes, that impish grin can melt anyone's heart, though we don't see it too often. In this mood, he's the journalist's delight, the master of the one-liners. For instance, how does he rate his market potential?
If I'm painted or called the black sheep, and if you can market a white one, sure you can market a black one. Because after all, it's the man in the street that buys most of the products, and the man in the street likes his people champion.
What about his ongoing feud with authority?
Well, I've got a better constitution than WPSA.
And we had to get the Higgins view on love and marriage.
Just some advice to young and up-and-coming snooker players is that don't get married until about 35.
Higgins' own marriage is in ruins. He still craves a home life, but Lynn left him a year ago, along with Lauren, the little girl who inspired his last world title win, and Jordan, who shows little inclination yet to follow the old man.
I wouldn't force Stephen snooker. I know a lot of people force their kids to play snooker. No, I'd like him to do what he felt he wanted to do himself. If he asked me, Daddy, show me how to play snooker, I would do. But I wouldn't take him to water.
Has he asked you yet?
Well, he's got to see that snooker table. It's done my head and my head.
You have to bring out the Alex Higgins table, won't you?
Yeah, well, I suppose I've got to lay on something, huh?
He won't be giving many lessons at Delveron House. The country home he bought to give his tormented marriage a fresh start is the refuge of a lonely and mistrustful man, most at ease behind drawn curtains. Higgins is the victim of 15 wearisome years on the treadmill, the solitary entertainer, forever waiting for the next connection. You could say he's one of life's passengers, and that's been a major source of irritation to him. He's never taken the trouble to learn to drive, except that is on the golf course, the only place he can change gear.
It would be very easy to get addicted to golf, because the golf ball, they have their way of putting the sign on, and they can go left or go right and stuff like that there. And ball games to me are fascinating, and it's one of the few times I can go for a walk for hours. And equally, if I had a few good shots, I'm nice and happy. If I had bad ones, it doesn't matter.
Are you eating better now? Are you looking after yourself better?
No. I still can't eat when I'm travelling. It's just, I think it's probably to do with being nervous time.
You'll always be like that, I suppose.
I eat when I have to. But there again, when I try to get myself ready for one of these tournaments and the year mark for the coming year, I will have ate well and get into the living pills and stuff like that.
He's the eternal optimist, isn't he? But even Higgins knew when he signed for Howard Kruger's framework management that he'd reached the crossroads. Kruger says it's his last chance of salvation. If he knuckles down, there's a future. If he doesn't, it's a scrap heap.
Danger signs are there, but it's down to him. And if he works hard enough, the ability is not the one that's the thing in question. If he's prepared to work harder than he's ever worked before, then that's not the end of the road.
He brings a lot of it on himself, unfortunately, and I think when you bring it on yourself, then you you've only got yourself to blame, so maybe it's easier to, as Alex says, bounce back.
When Alex is out and playing snooker, he's on a high. He lives on a high. And when people talk to him after a match, if he's lost, they have to treat him with a little bit more respect than what they would normally treat another player, because he just seems to jump at people.
Well, there's a lot of things happening. I mean, I couldn't say with all honesty that I'm going to be like an angel. You know, I mean, I'd be telling lies to myself, I'd be telling lies to you. I'll just have to see how things carry on. The scene hasn't changed that much. There's about 8 people, I would say, have the ability to win. And I happen to be still one of them. And equally, as I say, I'm very dangerous when I'm locked in a room for a month after 10 hours a day practice. And somewhere along the line, I'm going to build up to that. I want to win trophy.
And it's Alex Higgins fighting out the battle of the final of the 1976 World Snooker Championship, having, as you see, beaten Thorburn, Spencer and Charlton, a close battle, having come back from 14 down against Thorburn, a very tight match against Spencer, having drawn 14 each, and then defeating by 3 frames only Eddie Charlton from Australia. And approaching the table now, the man who is attempting to get this 4th consecutive win of this wonderful title, Ray Reardon, who, as you see, in the first round beat John Dunning 15 frames to 7. In the second round, Dennis Taylor 15-2, and the semi-final, Peter Mons 20 frames to 10. John Williams there, deciding who should break off in this, the last day's play of a 53-frame match. The situation at the moment, 24 frames to Reardon, 15 frames to Higgins, Reardon requiring just 3 frames for that title for the 4th consecutive year. Orthodox break, leaving the cue ball in bulk. Higgins, who has been leaving each match right to the end, I wonder if he can pull this one out of the bag, but they're 6 points away. He's touched the pink. Not a good start. As I was saying, he was in fact leaving things very late. Reardon, on the other hand, here has been having big success all the way through. Only 19 frames against him. Again, safety from Higgins. And again, safety. Reminder there of the frames as they are standing at the moment. 24 frames to 15 in favour of Reardon, indicating, of course, that he requires 3 frames for the title for the 4th consecutive year. This final being over the best of 53 frames. So far during the final, during the tournament, we've had 6 100 breaks. Spencer, Charlton, Higgins and Reardon all having featured in clearing the table with hundreds, and it's Reardon, the current champion, taking the first red onto the pink. Look at the bridge there as he goes over that red, steadily the pink into the middle pocket.
Seven.
Action shot of the current champion as he takes the red into the top pocket. Oh, a long way away. Now he's fairly fortunate there, looks at that rather closely. there's the situation facing Higgins. Cue ball on the side cushion. Little to go at, and I think playing safe. No, he's attempted to red along the top, and it's a good shot. Having a look round to see where he should place the cue ball for the next red. Obviously going to take one of the smaller colours. Plays the green steadily, and it stays on the table. Obviously, nerves are taking their toll when it gets to this, the fourth day's play of the final. Red and still not happy, gets down for a third time. Now he kissed a red there and in fact leaves himself a long straight blue. The green over the bottom pocket is not seeable. The black is well tapped out. So he's going back to that blue. Read it. A very serious looking red in there as Higgins comes into the picture. Looking at the pack of balls to see if there's any possibility of slamming one into a pocket. But no, plays it quite safe this time. The cue ball onto the ball line, just inside the D. No, red may just try this cut. And it's there. Cue ball going down dangerously near the green. And he, in fact, takes the green into the pocket, so that is 4 points away. Little left for Higgins. And he's bringing in the professional role of asking the opponent to play a game. This is a situation whereby, after a foul stroke, if you do not like the situation facing you, you can put your opponent in the game. And Higgins just doesn't like what's left after that foul stroke, so he asked Redden to play a game. Redden playing it safe. Higgins here has 4 maximum centuries to his credit. 4 times he's made that coveted 147 break. As I said earlier, Redden, now coming to the table, has in fact done it 6 times, and only a couple of weeks ago South Africa was his 6th. Again, we come down for safety, and the score 14 points to 5. Higgins just trailing there as he's in the frames 24-15. He's fought back in every battle he's had so far, getting to the final, and the whole audience is just wondering if again he will fight back. Redden here being in a comfortable situation for gaining his 4th consecutive win, but this time the blink disappears, so that's 6 points away. That's 10 points in 2 shots from Redden that he's given away. And it looks pretty dangerous down there. He's again being put into bat, as it were, by Higgins, and a slight grin comes across Redden's face when he looks at the situation. situation of the balls on the table. Well, I'm sure Reardon tried to pot the right hand of those that is the left as we look at the screen, but it didn't come off, and Higgins has a chance of one across the turn of the centre, but he's looking very strongly at the fine cut. The red ball is nearest to the pocket on the top cushion, and he's taken it away, but I think he's snooped himself on the pink. He certainly can't see the black. And so he's going down for the brown, which is in fact just off its spot.
Begin.
Still extremely safe. One must always remember that one mistake can end the game. Either player being very capable of clearing the table. I don't think Alex can get across to the red of the centre pocket, which forces him up the table. He's having a good look at it. 27 years of age, this young man from Ireland. Again he kisses the red, and I think has snooped himself on the pink, the black being well tucked between two reds. All the other colours are off their spots. A very studious Alex Higgins on a colour. Plays the brown to leave the cue ball in bulk. Reardon having a look around the table, and here we now have just a difference of 1 point. Higgins regained a few points there, Reardon leading 14 points to 13. Early stages, of course, Reardon requiring 3 frames for victory and the title for the 4th consecutive year. Now a chance here for Higgins. He's got a red into the top. The black is now open, and so is the pink. He screws onto a red, leaves himself on the pink into the centre. Screws back across the table for a red into the same pocket.
7.
Now he's looking at the black. A steady angle there, but I think he's staying for the pink instead. He has the choice of the black or pink here. But it is the pink he's choosing. Onto the red just below the black.
14. 15.
The black into the opposite top pocket. Down now to 6 reds. 1 along the top cushion.
23.
And the pink disappears as the cue ball goes down for the red over the centre. Breaks so far 29.
29.
Fine cut here. a lot of check side to keep himself on the blue. I think he was attempting, but we'll probably change his mind, take S and take the brown. Now he's just moving that difficult red off the side cushion. Straight up the table. But not there. Very useful points there for Alex Higgins. But that won't do. He played that with a terrific amount of side. Slight grins. Obviously satisfied with the shot he played. There are in fact 59 points on the table. That is 4 reds, a black with each, and then the colours. And still those 4 reds remain. Leaves the cue ball safely on the ball cushion, red, up to the top of the table. Fairly good safety shot from Higgins there. Brian used a lot of right-hand side there trying to get the cue ball around the angles and onto the cushion behind those smaller colours. Double kiss, and I wonder if he's done any damage. Certainly a chance for Ribbon to put the loose ribbon into the top right-hand pocket as you look at your screen. Now he's screwed across the table for position on the pink or black. Red and then pink or black. And he's kept himself on the black. Stands the cue ball between the 2 reds. Has a chance of taking a black with each of these last 4 reds. He's got 2 of them. Cue ball after the cushion sufficiently to allow him to screw off the black behind that last red. He's now looking at the situation as to where he has to place the cue ball for those small colours. The colours have to be taken in their correct sequence. Firstly, the yellow.
$24.
38 points to Red at this moment against Higgins 47. There's 1 more. And black is there. Now that puts him 1 point behind, 46-47.
32.
He's taken the 4 reds, 4 blacks. As I mentioned just now, the colours have to be taken. Where's that brown? And he's taken the brown away. That's 4 points away, and it's a free ball. This could be very dangerous for Redden. A free ball means, of course, that Higgins can take the black, which counts as the yellow. Screw down the table. Deep screw there, getting the cue ball down the table, and now he's on to the last 6 points. He's missed the yellow. Well, that's a complete let-off for Ray Redden. 53 points to 46 at the moment. Reardon here behind by 7 points.
46-53.
Reardon having a very close look at that yellow, which is right on the lip. Reardon leading 24 frames to 15, and now 7 points behind in this first frame, 46-53. And now he's put the pink in. Oh, my word. I have never seen Reardon give so many points away in a frame. All very unlucky, but still nerves are playing their part. And a double kiss there helps Higgins and leaves the yellow ball on the top cushion. Reardon 13 points behind, 27 points on the table, and he plays a beautiful snooker. Higgins now swirling around this pink. And he's got it off. 4 points away. Very unlucky after a very good first shot. But Reardon still playing it safe, trying to get the cue ball behind the black, but it's not quite accurate enough, and Higgins can get through there to the yellow. 59 points to 50. Higgins in front. Is this a snooker? Will it run? It looks to me as though it's there, and Reardon will have to come off the bottom cushion, kissing the yellow back up the table. No, I beg your pardon, you could get through there. Well, it's a brilliant shot. And the green goes away. Red now just 4 points behind, and this brown counts 4 points. That makes it all square, 59 points each. The last 3 colours on the table. He now wants the pink to win the frame. One of the 3 he so badly needs to take the title for the 4th time. And there it is.
20.
He's going now to take the final ball. Black, the most expensive ball on the table. And so Reardon goes out the winner of that frame. He now requires just 2 frames for the title and runs out there against Higgins. 77 points to Higgins 59. The scene here at the Forum Hall within Shaw, Manchester, all set once again for the finale of the Embassy World Professional Snooker Championships 1976, with Reardon about to come to the table, requiring just 2 frames to gain for the 4th consecutive year the world crown. He leading Alex Higgins from Belfast, Ireland.